Just check on my phone. Still, it is not showing live. Just a second.
Yeah, I can see that as well.
Yes, we are live now.
You're live?
Yes, we are live.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. So, hi everyone. This is Mukesh, and we have Karthik today. So,
Hey
we
guys,
will be waiting 2 minutes and then we'll start. Let's wait for 2 minutes and then we will start our webinar.
perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. So, we already have almost 31 people and just are coming.
Oh yeah, that's good.
So, Karthik, can you see the chat window or shall I read the messages for you?
Yeah, I can see that chat. I'm
Okay.
looking at it.
That, okay,
Yeah,
that's yeah.
cool.
Okay, so thanks everyone for joining. Those who are joining late, will wait for 1 more minute and then we will start the session. And I would highly recommend, guys, if we stick to the topic today because we have a proper agenda what we have planned. So we'll try to take only the questions which is related to today's topic. Okay. So the topics which is not related to this one, maybe we can take into some other sessions. Okay. Yeah. So finally, we have execute automation also on our channel.
Yeah.
And Karthik, I loved the new logo.
Oh really? Thank you.
Yeah,
There was so much criticization on that EA logo being looking like an electronic arts game, but
no, it's really good. Finally
yeah,
changed after a long time, right? Almost
yes,
3 4 years.
yeah. It was 3 4 years. Yeah. Uh, yeah, because we just trying to change things pretty much right now, more like new platforms and yeah. So I also have another announcement coming soon. So
Oh,
yeah, all those things need some actual change, not like
okay.
pretty much the classical way. So yeah,
Mhm.
that's why we just changed this logo.
So when we can expect the new announcement, Karthik?
It is actually happening. It's already happened long time before, but just that I have
Okay.
not announced it. But I guess I should announce it probably next week or two, like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
there are some legal works going on. Yeah.
Okay. So
Cool.
wait for next announcement. Yeah. So it's almost 1 2, and I guess we should start. People will keep on joining.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hi guys, welcome once again. So today we have Karthik from executeautomation.com. So this is the first live session that we are having with Karthik. So thanks Karthik for accepting this request and coming live with us even on Saturday.
Thank you so much for that. Thanks for including me on that session. Yeah, Saturday or Sunday, we always are pretty much connected to the community on these weekends. If not, we
Yeah,
are in office, so or at least working from home for office
yeah.
work. So Saturday is good. Yeah.
Yeah, so those who don't know about Karthik, so Karthik has its own channel called Execute Automation. He has more than 700 videos. I guess 723 if I'm not wrong when I checked today morning, 723. He also have hits Udemy platform. So where he has more than 2 lakh members. Okay, when I checked last time when I saw his keynote, it was almost 2 lakhs plus. So he's actually from India, but currently he's in New Zealand, and he has content on various different topics. So that's the reason we included Karthik for this topic because he's the best guy who can suggest us, who can talk on this topic in detail, because he has different playlists on his channel on Puppeteer, Cypress, and Flutter. Test Cafe, I'm not sure, but yeah, I guess he has few more additional JavaScript related videos on his channel. So, Karthik, this is what I know about you. Maybe you can introduce yourself once again, and you can also talk about the platform that you launched last week. I saw the platform; it's very amazing. But still, I want few more words from you. I know many of the people who joined this session they already know about you, but still, since you're coming live first time with us,
Sure, Mukesh. Thank you so much for a complete introduction. You already told everything. So,
no,
yeah, yeah. So, basically, as you said, everything you've told. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing for all these days. And the whole idea of the new platform that you told. Thanks for bringing it up. So it was especially to streamline the process of what videos that I've been releasing in YouTube, because uh, again, as I told on the keynotes, if you have not seen, I mean, the persons who have not joined, I know Mukesh, you joined, you saw that already.
Yeah.
The whole idea is that because right now with the Udemy, I already have courses which is for free, and there are some premium contents.
Yeah.
Premium contents are like 12 hours. It's fine, but the free courses which I have in YouTube, I released in Udemy as well. But especially, I gave them for free as well in Udemy, while it is available in YouTube, especially because to maintain the platform structure. But right now, Udemy is kind of restricting everybody. You should
Yeah.
not be like 2 hours more and stuff like that.
True.
So if you have any content more than 2 hours, yeah, then
It
you
has
need
to.
to, yeah. That's why I just created a platform so that you can have 8 hours of free content, something like that. Yeah, that's the whole
Okay,
idea.
that's great. Yeah. So guys, if you haven't checked, please maybe after this live session, go to his executeautomation.com and you will find everything about the videos that he has posted. And he has various content on the Azure DevOps as well, right? So recently he has started Azure DevOps videos that is literally very amazing. If you're complete new to Azure, please go ahead and watch that videos. Okay. So before
Okay,
we
Mukesh.
you started, anyways, one question we got from Shub, that what is the AWS play role in automation? So guys, we will take these questions in the second half. So initially, since this will be more of discussion. So anyways, when it comes to technicality, tutorials, everything is already available on the web, like YouTube videos, tutorials, everything. So the main concern or the main topic for today is the confusion part which is coming because of the so many various tools which is coming in the market. So those who actually coming into automation, somehow they're getting scared because of those so many tools. So they're confused with what tool to choose for which kind of application. So related to this topic, if you have any question, you can let us know in the comment section. We will definitely pick these questions and we'll try to cover as much as possible. Questions which is not related to this topic, maybe we will note it down and we will come live once again some other time and we can answer it. Okay. So recently we did a small survey, so and we got a couple of questions that we need to ask with Karthik, so he can provide us his views, honest opinion. Again, I know it's individual choice, but yeah, his opinions matters a lot. Okay, so related to questions, we'll take it on the second half. First half, we'll focus more on the questions that we have selected already.
Cool.
Karthik, your video got stuck, I guess. I can't see you moving.
Okay. I think it's because I am actually getting a call in my phone. So what I'm doing currently is like I'm streaming my phone as a web server.
Yeah, I can
So
see.
that the phone call got disconnected now. Sorry
Okay.
about it. Who is
No,
calling
no
now?
problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we'll start, Karthik, and once again, welcome. So I will be taking questions in a two way. One, those who are completely new to automation, okay, those who are starting their career from manual to automation. And second set of questions will be for those who already are working in automation from almost 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and now they have a question which tool to select and why. Okay. So first I will start like those who are already working, okay, because most of the audience which we have right now on the YouTube, they are experienced person, they're already working on the different tools technology. Now they are hearing a lot of different tools. So the first question which we have, like, right now we already have a concrete framework in our organization and everything is running smooth. We are able to deliver the products, we are able to deliver a script and everything is working fine. So should we move to the new tools or the technologies or the latest libraries which is coming, even though we are able to do the same thing with existing things? So would you suggest that we should shift to the new tools which is coming like Cypress, Puppeteer? We'll discuss about them in detail again. But yeah, the question is, should we move from existing framework or tools to the new frameworks which is coming in the market?
So Mukesh, regarding that, if you remember today morning, I was pruning my trees in my garden. This is exactly
Yeah.
what came to my mind while I was doing it. So again, it depends on the tool that we are choosing, right? Selenium is an amazing tool. Selenium is the only tool on the planet which actually does exactly what a browser does. even though the new tools like Cypress or Puppeteer or Protractor, which is available, they try to inject the code and they try to do it pretty much like using the DevTool protocol on the Chrome DevTool protocol. But
Yeah.
whereas this is the only tool, the Selenium is the only tool which is using the JSON wire protocol, pretty much the W3 standard right now, right? I mean, this is the only tool which is doing pretty good. And from after QTP era, Selenium took over, and Selenium is still continuing that legendary path right now. So if we see any other tool like Cypress, I think if you really want to go to that tool, or the companies which are really going to that tool, it is fine or fair enough if they are going to build an application which is pretty modern, they can go with it. But based on what my experience or my knowledge I have seen that going to a tool just because of its modern
Yeah.
behavior, some fancy options like
Yeah.
support, if you just go for that, then I probably think that it is not a point. But if you really think that your company has some drawback with Selenium, then if you need to move, probably you can go for that. But I don't see any drawback on Selenium, first of all. So I think, yeah, so choosing
Yeah.
Cypress or Puppeteer just because of it, I don't really think just to boycott Selenium for that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, even I feel because I don't know whether you call me as a bias, but I don't know why I fall in love with Selenium, because maybe I'm using it from a long time. So whenever I see a new tool, I always try to compare with Selenium, which is, I know it's not a good approach. We cannot compare the tools, right? Because just like they all under the same bucket, but they all are
Yeah.
different. But somehow it's when you use some tools, you always try to compare the tools, which is actually wrong. But somehow I feel whatever applications which I have automated so far, whether it's my SAP UI5 applications, AngularJS application, normal web application, Selenium was working perfectly fine and still working fine. We are able to deliver the script. So
Yeah.
till now, I haven't faced much issues, and with the community support that we have from Selenium side, right? It's
Yes. And
they totally depend.
yeah, exactly. Sorry, go ahead. So I was about to say, like, Selenium 4, the new feature that the guys are working right now,
Yeah.
which has exactly the same concept, like the DevTool protocol support, the Chrome DevTool protocol support. So you can extend that. You can now intercept the network, and you can get the XHR, and you can do it pretty much exactly what you can do in Cypress, but not as easy as Cypress or Protractor can do, like Playwright can do.
Okay.
But yeah, we can still do that in Selenium 4. But Selenium 4 still, it is in development, and it's there in development for a long time right now. I
Yeah.
think they announced last year 24th,
Yeah.
April 24th. But still, yeah, it's more than a year now and nothing has happened. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
Karthik. So next month is Selenium conference, like official Selenium conference. They are going to virtually now. Earlier
Okay.
they planned they will be doing in Bangalore, but initially it was in April, but somehow they postponed it, in September because of this COVID. Now
Okay.
again they are going virtually live. So I guess 19th September they have an official conference, and maybe in September they will officially release Selenium 4 stable
Oh,
version.
wow. That's a good news. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So
If-
day one, Simon will be announcing. So let's see how it goes.
Awesome. Yeah. Now we can join for free, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, we used to see that online. I mean, after the event, like a snip, like a highlights. But this is
Yeah.
gonna be like a full
Yeah.
blown event. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be
I'm not sure whether it's a free for everyone, but yeah.
good. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Karthik, the next question is, let's say if we have some AngularJS applications or React.js application or application which is built on Express.js. Okay. So would you recommend directly starting with these tools, or would you still recommend to start from the Selenium? Because now these applications are purely on JS. Okay.
Yep.
And now if we have to choose a tool, and these, let's say, application built on Angular, React, and Express. So which tool would you recommend with your opinion?
I mean, these questions are like pretty common for both of us, right? We have got this question many times.
Yeah.
So the one thing which I really want to differentiate with this automation testing tools itself is the test operation engine and the test execution engine. So the test operation engine is more like Selenium, right? So which is going to perform an operation on the UI. The execution engine is like the NUnit or TestNG or JUnit or something like that. So this is exactly what's happening with these automation testing tools, like JS tools as well, like Cypress or Puppeteer or Protractor, plural. Sorry, what is that? Playwright. So if you see this Cypress, it has its own inbuilt runners and it has a dashboard, which is all pretty cool. So
Yeah.
they built this pretty intelligently, so that the whole community can go into that particular dashboard and perform an action on that.
Yeah.
But if you see this Puppeteer or the Protractor, they have their own runners, but they still use the test runners like Jest, and they use Mocha, awesome reporting,
Mm.
and Mocha for that matter.
Yeah.
So these are the things like differentiates these tools itself. And the recommended tools, if we go into any of these websites, for instance, with the React application, the recommended tool is actually Cypress, and then they say Nightbot.js. And for Vue.js, they used to say the recommended tool is actually to go with Jest as the test runner, and they have something called as JS DOM. So that is what is the recommended tool. So these have, I mean, if you could see here, they have a recommended tool. It's mainly because they feel that their framework goes well for the developers to perform an
Yes.
action. They mainly focus right now as a TDD concept, like test driven development. But when
Okay.
it comes to functional testing, I still see that it's not very recommended that you should go with these recommended tools, but we can still go with Selenium, because at the end of the day, whatever is going to be rendered on the browser is going to be the DOM object,
Yeah.
right?
True.
I mean, what is the point? I mean, so that's what I think. What do you think?
Yeah, that was my opinion also. Again, people have asked this question many times. Like, my application is built on .NET. Can I automate with Selenium? My application is built on Java. Can I automate with Selenium? So at the
Yeah,
end of the day, it's all DOM. Okay, it doesn't
exactly.
matter what technology they have you, whether it's a PHP, Java, .NET, AngularJS, React.js, you name it. It is at the end of the day, it's a DOM, right? So we can
Yeah.
automate using Selenium. And I want to share again one experience. Like, since I'm working with SAP, in SAP we have a SAP UI5 controls. Okay,
Okay.
so they are literally little. I will not say completely different, but yeah, we have customized these controls so that, yeah, look and feel can change.
Hmm.
So what we did, we created again another automation tool called Viper,
Mm-hmm.
just to automate the SFV UI5 applications. Okay.
Hmm.
But again, when it comes to any other application which is not built on SAP UI5 controls, again, we cannot use it. But when
Hmm.
we did the same thing with Selenium, we are able to do everything again. So it is just like we are doing kind of rework every time. Again, building a new set of tools or libraries, which is only for that particular application. So
Correct.
somehow I can see it's kind of rework which we are doing. Yeah, we are, and I will like we are making some enhancement. We are making few changes in the library, then publishing it. But at the end of the day, core is still same.
Yep. Even just to add, like if you see Catalan Studio or Test Project
That
and
project.
many other tools, they actually use Selenium as their core library. They have not, even though they have built a whole tool sets,
Yeah.
basically, they still are using the core Selenium as their libraries. So they are not even modifying that. If not, these companies would have thought building their own way of identifying the DOM elements, which is going to be pretty straightforward, but they didn't.
Yeah.
The reason is because Selenium is so solid and it does what it has to be done, and it is doing it. So I think Selenium is pretty good. But these tools like Cypress, we cannot extend it. But Puppeteer, we can extend it, because
Okay. So we lost you, Karthik, again. Okay.
Puppeteer or the Cypress itself. Yeah, I think we lost the connectivity a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. No problem. Yeah. So Karthik, the next question that we like, this is mainly for the existing projects. Okay, like we already have a complete test plan. We have a test suite. Now, what would you suggest? Let's say now, if a person who is completely new to automation, they they got an initial requirement that this is the application, and now they have to, create a POC, or maybe they have to directly start with the automation. Now they don't know about the Java, they don't know about the JavaScript at all, and they don't know about the any tools in the market which exist. Okay, so it's completely from the scratch, not even of any programming language experience they have. So this is mainly a question from the beginners, those who are coming directly from manual to automation, or directly they are graduating from colleges, now they're jumping into automation because they heard automation is boom, or robotic process automation. So directly from the college and onwards, they're starting with the automation. So what would you recommend if somebody is completely new to automation, not even a programming background, not even any automation background? So what path would you suggest? Like, would you suggest with Java, Selenium this path, or would you recommend them Java, selecting JavaScript and exploring all these tools?
It's a pretty good question, Mukesh. Basically, uh, I mean, we also, while we started automation testing, right? We had no choice. Like JavaScript tools were pretty less by then. Like while I started in 2006. By then it was only VBScript and Java, and JavaScript doesn't even exist by then. And then we started automating with QTP probably, and then test complete, and then Selenium was in alpha, and we don't really had any choice to go with Java or either C# like that.
And that time we had Selenium RC, if you remember, Karthik.
Exactly, yeah, Selenium remote control.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So yeah, so those tools are pretty legacy, but I mean now it is pretty legacy if you think of that.
Yeah.
But the reality right now is JavaScript is really a good language to go with. I mean, JavaScript is not a weird language like earlier, like 6 or 4 years before, because there is no IntelliSense used to come, and it will be like a pretty big file, unable to render, something like that. But right now in the VS Code or IntelliJ, the JavaScript version, if you use that, I think WebStorm. So all these tools actually has a pretty intelligent way of writing the code. They also have OOPS concept, like you can have classes and all those stuff. So I think for the start, I mean, I have heard this many times from many people. For any person who come out of college, and if you're gonna get into programming, the first language they need to learn is Python. So if they learn Python, then they can learn any language. That's what I heard. But I'm not very good at Python as well. I'm just releasing a new series right now. After I saw this Python, I realized that yeah, it is really a good tool. It's pretty good. And the next tool, next language they can actually go with is actually JavaScript. To get started with, because it looks like the whole new modern applications which are built, the frameworks that are built is currently in JavaScript. Even I was actually building this Amazon Eco skills, and I didn't release any courses for that. I was about to release, but I couldn't able to. That was actually fully built with JavaScript. And you can also write all the codes within Amazon's own platform with the JavaScript and stuff. So I think JavaScript is pretty good. And anybody who has a skill on JavaScript, they can either develop a web app or they can test the web app pretty good.
So whatever the technologies are coming, MERN, right? They're pretty amazing. And if you know this JS, you can easily develop your application using MERN quickly, whether it's a e-commerce application or payment gateway, anything.
Exactly. Yeah. Right now it's pretty good. I mean, JavaScript is kind of going very good, and even Microsoft's own TypeScript, which is like a like superset of JavaScript. If you use that, it also has pretty much like C# background or Java background. If the person who is going to jump into JavaScript, they can easily learn that. Yeah, it's very good.
Okay, so thank you, Software Testing Mentor, for supporting us. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Okay, so he has sent a super chat that you both are awesome. Keep up the good work. So thank you, Software Testing Mentor. Maybe I couldn't get your name, but yeah, that's the official handle. So thank you so much. Yeah, so actually, personally, Karthik here, like if I talk about fresh graduates, right? I guess we lost you again.
Yeah, I lost you as well here. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, so my point is also almost same. Like if somebody is starting, okay, so instead of jumping into the syntax issues, because many times I have seen people struggle a lot with the syntaxes. Okay, so they get fear of programming because they are completely worried about, like, even just to write a hello world, we need to write a class, a main method, and then system dot parameter. And so they don't know the actual logic of programming, right? They just lost in the syntaxes. But if we
Yeah.
start with the programming, if the logics are clear, right? Let's say I have to build a small, let's say EMI calculator, car loan, home loan, and if you ask me the logic, if we know the logic, right, we can build in any programming language. So initially, if somebody is completely new, if they start with some language which have very easy to learn syntaxes, so that they can focus more on the logic part, how to build the application using programming language. And once they're
Mhm.
comfortable, then it's a matter of syntax. They can jump into anyone.
Correct. Yeah.
So even I feel like in 2021, if somebody is starting, or 2020, if they don't have any programming experience, they can start with Python or JavaScript, because when it comes to syntax, they both are pretty easy. Yeah.
Yeah. You're right.
And when it comes to, yeah, tool, they can pick any tool of which is in that stream, and they can continue.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think what you said rightly said, like it's just about the logic. I mean, how we think, and there is a discussion as well, like for will a manual test engineer can become an automation test engineer?
Yes,
And
it's
if you
true.
say that, there's nothing called manual testing. First of
Yeah,
all, like it's all about testing, how we do the testing and how we ensure the quality of the product being improved. So if we
yeah,
have the right mindset of doing the testing of the application in this fashion, then probably we should able to automate that as well. I mean, it doesn't matter that if he is good into programming or not. Maybe he can give some suggestion. If he's not
yeah,
going to write any code, he can give suggestion to the automation tester that you need to automate these scenario. Because what happens is, one of my friend here in New Zealand, he used to say these automation test engineers becomes like a robots. So they just keep doing like a coding. They try automating it, and the end of the day they become robots, and they keep just writing the code instead of focusing on the quality of the product,
yeah,
which is
true.
true, right? I mean, we get into this mess of this testing hell, testing tool hell, and then we see that we already lost our actual essence of the quality in the product.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And we also had one incident, like, there was a fresher in my company, and generally we don't assign automated tasks to freshers, but yeah, somehow we assigned. He was not having any testing background, so what he did, he just did a couple of clicks,
Yeah.
and he did not add any assertion at all, and he started like scheduling that script almost like for daily execution. And I was wondering with a fresher how he can write a stable script that is not even failing. Okay,
Hmm.
because it's running fine every time, it is giving me pass, and I was wondering how he can write such a stable script. Then I was not the reviewer, but when I reviewed his script, somehow he missed so many steps. He just did a couple of click events, and he just closed the browser. No assertions, no validations, nothing at all. So that is how the tester's mentality comes, right? They know what to assert, what is the
Yeah.
actual, what is expected. If you don't know that part, you cannot even become a good automation engineer. So we are
Hmm.
not just like a typewriter that type click, type click. We don't need
Yeah.
to be that. It's just assertions. If you're not adding assertions, you're not adding value to the that particular product that you're testing.
Exactly. Yeah. But what we are in turn doing is we are trying to make the organization or maybe our managers happy by showing
Yeah,
the green report. So they'll
yeah,
be getting excited if they see that, or they say, "Oh wow, automation is working." But in fact, in reality, we are not doing the realistic testing, and
yeah,
we are not asserting anything. And at the end of the day, what we have did is as an useless testing. So
yeah.
yeah, it's pretty bad. So we're not.
Sometimes
We,
we stuck into this green and red.
yes. Yeah. Probably orange. Yeah.
Somehow I like orange because it's not our responsibility why it is going to orange.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So next question which I had, Karthik, I guess you already covered. The next question which I had was, should we learn Java, JavaScript, or Python? That you already covered. Okay. So I will be taking the next question. So as you told, like, you have almost like more than 12 plus experience, and I guess you already covered, but still the final opinion I want from your side, like till now, what is your best automation tool so far, including your QTP? Whether I know it's a paid tool, okay, but still from 2006 till 2020, what is the best automation tool so far, and which you still use, And what are the pain points you have right now when it comes to automation?
Uh, I always use Selenium, to be honest,
Right.
even though I have many courses in Cypress, Puppeteer, Protractor, what is it, Playwright. I'm not getting that Playwright anyway. So in fact, I also had a conversation with the current author of the Playwright from Microsoft. So we had a discussion. He's also an Indian guy. We had a discussion. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so they are so basically Puppeteer went to Playwright. Oh shit, Playwright, right? So once it went there, they then started to modify. So now Playwright is a different branch. It is maintained in Microsoft, and Puppeteer is maintained by Google guys. But you can see that mostly they are same tools.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is, even though while I spoke with them, what are their roadmaps and all those things, it's kind of pretty fancy. I mean, all these fancy elements are coming into those tools, but still, to me, to be honest, whatever companies which I'm working with the moment, and to other companies which I'm supporting, it's all Selenium, because Selenium is really good. Because you get an instant help from community. If you have any problems on Selenium, there will
Yeah.
be like millions of mind on Selenium. So if I just search anything, probably Mukesh, your website comes in, and there is this tools QA which comes in.
Yeah.
I mean, I see like a lot of questions, right? It's like if you just search in any questions, you get all the answers. But if you search the same question about Puppeteer or Playwright, you will never get it.
True.
so I think that's the main takeaway in that. Like Selenium is
Yeah.
pretty awesome. And the other thing is the pain point that you asked about the Selenium is, I think Selenium still has the problem with the automatic waiting. If you see all these new tools which is coming, like Cypress, they have this automatic waiting, automatic wait for assertions, and
Yeah.
automatic video capture. So these are like, I mean, these are fancy thing, but
Yeah.
it makes the life of the test engineers a bit more easier, because
Yeah. Right.
if he's going to start automation for the first time, like as you were telling just before, like a fresher, or who is coming from the other functional testing background, then probably for them to code these things, or even to reach this point of having automatic waiting or having a video creation, it takes like years for them. But
Yeah.
Cypress or or Puppeteer,
That's all
they
right. Mm.
inbuilt. So they get it this fancy. I mean, I've seen many people in New Zealand. What they do is they showcase the demo of Cypress or Puppeteer, which is already there inbuilt, and they just show them, and then people get, wow, this is so awesome, so cool. So I mean, these are available with,
And not automatic now.
yeah. So these things, these awesome features help them to do things, which is the pain point which I see for Selenium. Even though I use Selenium a lot, these are some of the pain point. But even though I have some framework built already, courses are there already on that, but still, if we have these pieces in place, it will be really really good. Yeah.
Yeah. And what I feel like with Selenium, again, when we say plus minus point, so plus point is like I can see the source code, so I know what is going actually behind the scene. I can open each and every weight, each and every condition, and I can see what while loop they're writing, how they're writing the logic to find the XY coordinate. So somehow it gives
Exactly.
me a developer mindset, like how this Simon or any developer who has created this tool, what logic they have used. So somehow it gives me, the logic part which they have used, not now, maybe 15 years back, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's what I learned in my career. Like whenever we see some open source tool, right, if you just open their one method, you will understand what best practices they have used, the quality of code they write. It's amazing.
Yeah. For to add your point, like I always tell in my videos that people just go and see others code in the GitHub, or even
Yeah,
the code of the Selenium, like how it is being written. You get an idea like how they have written. You can even copy paste that code. Doesn't matter. It just
exactly.
works. Yeah, so those things are really really good, and these things will really help us to learn as well. Because even though I am like working for like 14 years now, I still have to sometime go back and search in Stack Overflow, even for the silly thing which I am
Yeah,
completely sometimes it just goes out from the mind, right? I mean,
True.
somebody have written amazingly for the same problem that we are facing for pretty long
True.
time. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think those things are really, really good. We have to get into that code and see what's really happening behind the
Yeah,
scene.
true. And it's not bad to search on Stack Overflow. It is, see, we cannot cover each and every logic. It is just somebody has written a logic. Maybe we can get an idea, learn what best practices or logic they have built. Maybe we can build some own logic, but yeah, at least we'll get a reference. So, my friends, not bad to check into Stack Overflow. And one interesting thing which I found with Selenium, when I opened the conditions, right? Selenium WebDriver conditions, it's a small while loop, if you notice, Karthik. While
Yeah,
loop, the timeout, right? So whenever something is not there, make it in the try catch, go again while loop. So it's a very easy concept. So what we did in our framework, somehow it makes our test more stable, that we also have written WebDriver wait. But
yeah, exactly.
it is, yeah, but in a simple while loop, if it fails, try it again. If it is not, then maybe after 30 seconds, stop it.
Yeah,
So now
exactly.
here comes your point. This is also our main pain point, like the synchronization, which you already mentioned. So
Yeah,
somehow with our framework, we have handled in a graceful manner. But yeah,
yeah.
if
Mm.
something stable can be done in Selenium 4 when it comes to weight, even though we have, WebDriver weight, but it doesn't work all the time for me at least.
Yeah,
So
me too. Same problem. Yeah.
yeah,
Another thing is like for the elements with the page object models, if you just declare all the elements on the page, and if the element it's not there on the UI while you try to perform an action on that, it's going to throw you an error. It says that because the find elements you have, even though you have already declared on the front of that class file, it is going to be
yes,
still going to parse while the class file executes. So you get
yeah,
an error saying no such element
no such
except.
element exception.
And people always have this question like how to handle this. Again, Mukesh, to your question, to your answer, we need to do somehow, we need to extend the find element method to
Yeah,
create an while loop kind of stuff so that it gracefully fails, like not just throwing exception instantly. And
yeah,
because what we do is like we perform and find element on the starting of the class file, but in the method we try to perform an action, we may be using this wait operation over there.
yeah,
So this will actually work if we have an explicit wait. But if it is implicit wait, if we try to use it within the method, it is not going to work. It is going to throw us the
yeah,
exception
true.
already.
Yeah,
So yeah, so we have to. So these things are kind of pain, right? I mean, if we have this automatic wait, probably we'll resolve this problem very long
yeah.
time before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
but
see,
still,
maybe we will get this in the Selenium 4.
yeah, maybe our voice reaches there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, Karthik, I guess I'm done with my points, but yeah, we have so many open questions for you and me. So maybe we can take few questions and
yeah,
we can see.
okay.
So I would like to say thanks to SDET. He has also joined us live. SDET QA Automation Techie. And we also have Naveen with us. So thanks, Naveen, for joining.
Hi Naveen.
And
Hi.
yeah, thanks for joining.
Thanks for joining.
So we will take few questions, okay, which is related to this, and then we'll see how long it will go. So probably we'll extend this for 15-20 more minutes. We'll close this by 2. So we'll see, because it's late in New Zealand. So maybe Karthik has to go for dinner and I have to go for lunch. So let's see what we can do. So
Yeah.
I will take few questions from the top. I would always give preference those who join first. Okay, so what is the next topic you cover after Postman that we will take it later? Rest assured, no, we will take it later. Karthik, welcome. Soumitra Mishra.
I'm looking at as well just to help you, Mukesh.
Yeah, sure.
How AWS plays role in automation? Is that the question that you told?
Yes, yes. So Umang, he is my regular subscriber. So maybe you can add your point on this.
AWS is again, so it's basically an infrastructure platform, right? It's like maybe I just call it as like an infrastructure. So whatever servers that we had in our local machine all these years,
Yeah,
suddenly it moved to cloud, and AWS is now, and Amazon is maintaining those server right now, And they're providing some fancy options for us to provision our applications on their platforms and execute those applications from there. I mean, it's not just provisioning like a server, but it's even beyond that. They have compute engines, and they have so many other stuffs, cool things, whatever that we are listening, watching the videos right now from Amazon Prime. Everything is coming from AWS. So I think for automation in AWS, I think it's just about how we provision our applications over there. Mostly, I have not worked on AWS a lot. Again, as I told, just the Amazon skill I wrote. But regarding the Azure, I probably used a lot, because while we deploy any application, we used to write everything in a PowerShell script, and then we try to run that, and everything just deploys pretty instantly on the Azure platform, and then it works from there. But regarding I think it's all the same thing. It's just provisioning the application on the platform and then using it. I don't see anything beneficial on the automation side, at least.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not
So
getting the question.
I would like to add point from Karthik. See, again, it's a platform as a service. So you have two options. Okay, either you create your own infrastructure. Let's say you want to run 1,000 automation scripts. So definitely you cannot run 1,000 script on one system. Definitely you need multiple systems. So either you can set up everything on premise, where you book certain virtual machines. Okay, VM you can set up, and you can connect with the Jenkins slave, and all your tests will run on the Jenkins slaves. But again, you don't want to bear that cost. You don't want to take that pain that I want to set up everything. So these are the platform as a service, right? So GCP, AWS, Azure, Ali Cloud, these all just are different vendors, right? Where you can book certain instances, you can set up everything, and you can distribute your test to these systems using Selenium Grid. That's all. So when it comes to the actual role of automation engineer, probably from my perspective, it's just you need to redirect your test to these platforms, where you will run your tests, they will run your tests, and you will get the results back.
Yeah, it's mostly like a platform. But when it comes to CI/CD pipelines, probably it is even more beyond. So I have not even touched that, but because it's not the original question. So CI/CD platform, it is even more beyond, because that's when you bring in the containers, you bring in the Kubernetes, and how you distribute your test executions from one machine to another machine. And then comes the Selenium parallel executions running in different machines over there. I think those things are pretty good if you go with that. But that's not the question, basically. So that's why I didn't answer on that.
Yeah. So Umang, again, as I said, we can build a complete CI/CD pipeline, on AWS, Azure. Even Naveen has started creating videos on CI/CD on Azure. Okay. So it is just depends on the requirement. Again, these are very big terms, right? We cannot summarize in 10 minutes, but yeah, these are definitely a big services, okay, which AWS and Azure which offers. Okay, it is just we're using AWS, but we need to be very specific whether it's S3 service or it's a EC2 service or any other service which you have to use. Yeah. So this was the perspective. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, let's take few more questions. So we have Lucky, Jagdish. Hello everyone. Are you both from Bangalore at this time? No. So I'm from Bangalore and Karthik is from New Zealand.
So, hi guys, can you explain the market trends in API testing? Do you want to answer that, Mukesh? I give it to you.
Yeah. Who's there? I could not get his name.
Market trend. It's Sardhanjali Raut. Yeah.
Okay. So Shardhanjali, again, when it comes to trend, right? API testing is not optional anymore. It has to be in your portfolio. It has to be in your profile. Okay, when you are jumping into automation. Okay, because nowadays, if you see the trend, every company is now putting, at least in my case, it's now 70-30. Okay, earlier it was different, like 70% automation, 30% APIs. Oh, sorry, web and 30% API. But now it has been reversed in my case. We're testing 70% on API and 30% on web, because somehow API tests are way beyond, stable as compared to web. Plus, we are able to test the application at very early stages, even though the UI is not developed, we have the APIs ready. So when it comes to a couple of jobs, right, functional validation mostly we can do, right, with the APIs, because it's at the end of the day, these APIs will provide the result to the web the browsers. So 30% test which actually needs the customer, because at the end of the day customers, they are not going to use APIs, customers going to use the browsers, right? So 30% you can keep the tests which actually will serve your purpose, that yes, customers are able to navigate with the controls, they're able to run all the happy flow that we automate end-to-end scenarios. But when it comes to critical testing part, it's always better if you have the API exposed. Definitely I would highly recommend. But yeah, in few cases, definitely if your application is secured, right, you will not get the access of APIs. In that case, you don't have any options to go with API, you have to go with the browsers. But still, there's no, I will say, trend. It is a must feature now, whether you are 2 plus 5 plus 10 plus, it is a must feature or must skill which you should know. Okay. And I'm not talking about the tools, it has to be like the technology, oh sorry, the concept, like go different kind of requests that we make, authentication, authorizations, right? How do we capture the request response, headers, cookies? Once you understand this principal part, then it's a matter of which tool you use, but you need to understand the principles.
Yeah, rightly said, Mukesh. Because we can automate the APIs even with the C sharps on web client. So there is
Exactly.
a class called web client. We can directly use that, and we can perform everything over there. Or we can use REST sharp. Again, it's an API to do
Yeah.
that. Or we can use even Postman for that matter. So the courses that you are releasing. So yeah, that's exactly what we can do. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So
And when it comes to stability part, even if it fails for a reason. It doesn't fail without any reason because of the loading issues or something.
yeah, that's true. That's something again assertion, right?
Yeah.
Correct. So there is another question which says, is Selenium good with Shadow DOM?
Yes.
Um,
We need to do some workaround for Shadow Dome. I already have an article. Again, we don't want to discuss on the individual topic. We will take a general questions which actually people are not able to find the solutions. So these technical questions like how do we handle Shadow Dome elements, or div tag, span tag, or these SVG tag. We have a videos articles. Okay, even Karthik has 700 plus videos, so you can watch out our videos. But when it comes to handling this specific topic, we can discuss now,
yeah,
which we cannot describe in articles. We will take it now live.
exactly. Yeah. And what is the language features of automation? Python. We can't discuss it right now. And will Catalan Studio can take place of Selenium in future? I don't think so, because Selenium is being used by Catalan Studio, so they will never get into Selenium's place forever. So uh, yeah, that's what I think. And
Better if I take the check questions from my phone.
oh yeah, so there is. Can we use Selenium WebDriver for automation of thin client app? So what is this thin client app, Nikhil? I don't really understand this question. So thin client is defined in many different stages. Uh, okay, so there is no response on that. Can we use Selenium for Windows application automation? Santosh.
Okay.
Uh, I think I can probably take this question.
Yeah.
So Windows application automation is something which we can do using WinApp driver. Again, WinApp driver is a project of Appium, and they are actually extending the same JSON wire protocol, and they are still using that same UI web automation on the web. They are doing the same operation on the Windows application. But even though the amount of operation that you can do with this WinApp driver is super less compared to the Coded UI, which was there for Microsoft until 2019. I mean, this version of Visual Studio has it, but from 2022 or 2023, if they are going to release a new Visual Studio, probably this Coded UI is going to be deprecated. But yes, for your question, yeah, we can automate using. It's not Selenium; it's just WinApp driver. That's the name of it. Yeah.
So again, we need to again understand the tools, what they do. Okay. If you see the first statement of Selenium website, just open Selenium website. the first line is Selenium automate browser, nothing at all. So
Yes.
right, yeah. So if you need anything else, whether it's an API, whether it's a report, whether it's a Windows based mobile automation, anything which you need to take the help of third party library. And we're lucky enough that we have so many open source library for each and everything, right? So
Yeah.
just combine this library and you can achieve your complete end to end task.
Hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, when it comes to Windows automation, right? Do not only limit yourself to Java like WinAppDriver or Vimium. You can also use some good libraries from Python. Okay, so
Hmm.
you can use Tag UI, which is again a kind of trending RPA tools. Okay, which will help you to do your Windows-based automation. You can also use PyWinAuto. Okay, so there's so many Python libraries also available for Windows-based automation. So do not restrict yourself only to Java. Explore the Python APIs as well. TagUI somehow I found it's good, but again the limitation with Tag UI is it internally use SQL. Okay, so if your screen is minimized, or if you're running on the VM and this VM is again is not, if the UI is not active, it will fail. Yeah.
Yeah. And there is one question which is interesting. So, Lucky Kodam, he has asked, like, these days in software design and architecture perspective, most of the companies are going towards microservice approach. So, what will be the future of the microservice testing? Again, you already answered that, Mukesh. Microservice is nothing but API.
Yeah.
So, but just that we're gonna put that in different places. But at the end of the day, the way we can test it's basically from the APIs. So I think that's the future. That's what we are using every day right now, from our phones and from our web. So probably it's all microservices. So yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, true, Karthik. Yeah, I forgot to say Happy Independence Day, guys. I actually
Yeah,
thought that I will wish everyone in front, but yeah, Happy Independence Day to all of
happy
you.
Independence Day to everybody. Yeah, I couldn't say anybody from New Zealand, but yeah, I could now tell any at least 177 watching right now to all those people.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, so
Pretty good.
Karthik, like if I guess all these questions are coming technical related to Selenium again,
Yeah.
so I will take last two questions which I found they are related to Cypress. Again, this question again is subjective. What is the future of Cypress? Do you want to answer this?
Future of Cypress, I think it's pretty glittering right now because ThoughtWorks has taken Cypress as adapt phase, which means I mean ThoughtWorks is the company which we all know that it is also part of the company which
So,
built the Selenium. So they also feel that Cypress is an adapt phase, which means they're pretty good.
yeah,
So I mean Cypress is pretty good in terms of how we automate the applications. It is really good to go with. But there are some restrictions if you go with an organization perspective. For instance, a banking website, we can't use Cypress because there are some sort of the proxy problems which comes in. If you use Cypress, it won't work. Restrictions, because most of the operation that we do on Cypress is going to run within Cypress own container.
yes.
Uh, and our applications, if there is a security restriction, then it's not going to run within Cypress. So currently, I'm working for the banking companies.
Okay.
I worked for like past 1.5 years. I couldn't be able to use Cypress, so Selenium is the only thing which we can use. Yeah, that's a trade off on that. Yeah.
I'm Hari. One question from Divya, that what about Parasoft SOA testing tool for REST API? Divya, I'm not sure about this tool. Parasoft
No
SOA
idea.
testing.
I
Yeah,
haven't
so
used.
yeah, so again, Divya, when it comes to right, a specific tool, there's so many like thousands of tools in the market. Some are paid, some are free. But when it comes to, if I see the last keyword of your question called REST API testing, again, for REST, as Karthik mentioned, there's so many tools. Even you can start with Postman if you don't want to write the code. But if you want to, automate end to end with code, then we have REST Assured, then we have REST Sharp. Even if you go with Python, we have request module, right? So there's so many things which you can use. So do not restrict yourself to a specific tool, because that company is working on that tool. But when you move out, or when you change, complete, I will say, organization, team, or company, it's all about the concept that is going to help you. Yeah. So as of now, you can learn this tool. Maybe, I'm not sure you will find these videos on YouTube, but if your fundamentals are clear, you can switch to any other tool.
Yeah. I still remember the API tool which people used to use. What is that? Uh, there is this tool called which is used for load testing as well. I don't remember that name. So people,
Loader, WebDriver,
not no, not load runner. There was one tool which
editor.
Swagger. No, is that Swagger? No, that's
No.
another tool. Sorry, I don't remember that. I suddenly forgot that name.
Okay.
So people still use that. Yeah. So Naveen is asking a question. Karthik, what do you think about wrapper implementation of WebDriver JS? So, Naveen, I seriously don't know what is a wrapper driver implementation of the WebDriver JS. Is that a new tool? Yeah, SoapUI, exactly, Vishal. Perfect. You got my mind. Yeah. Exactly, that's the tool. So sorry, Naveen, I just got deviated. So, what do you think about the wrapper implementation of WebDriver.js? Is that you mean wrapping up
WebDriver,
WebDriver from WebDriver.io or
I
what
guess it's
exactly?
WebDriverIO.
Oh, is that WebDriver.io? Okay. Okay. Yeah. So WebDriver.io, I have not personally used WebDriver.io because of WebDriver.io is still going to use the same JSON wire protocol of Selenium, and it's going to be exactly the same thing. So I just went to the fancy tool, which I was talking about, the Cypress Puppeteer. So I think it's going to be exactly the same thing for me, at least, because I have not used it a lot. I cannot be 100% correct on that. So I have no idea on that. Yeah. So whatever I tell you.
WebDriver I have not used personally, so no comment from my side.
Yeah. But Naveen, you have released many time WebDriver.io. I have seen you are the one who has released many videos on that. So
Yeah.
you should be the person who should answering this question. Probably we should do a trio. Uh,
Yeah.
to-
So actually, I was waiting for your product launch. Now, maybe when you come with the next announcement, when you're free, maybe we can have a collaboration with Naveen. We three all can come. Maybe we can include Raghav as well, and we
yeah.
can have a quick one.
Sure. We can do that. It'll be I don't know what it's for. Yeah. So we can. So yeah, pretty good. I think. Are we running short of questions, or do you have any final questions, guys?
Okay, so I can see so many other questions, but I guess they are not related to this topic. Yeah, they are related to so many other topics. Some are
Yeah,
related to which one is good: C sharp, Java, Python. Again, it's kind of a debate topic. It's again individual choice, depends on your background, depends on the organization, requirement. It depends on so many factors. So I can just maybe give my one line answer for this. Who I have asked this question? Yeah. So not Saurabh. Prashad have asked C Sharp, Selenium, or Java Selenium, which is better? Again, when it comes to Selenium, it's wire protocol, whether you use say C Sharp, Java, Python, PHP, even in that matter, it's just a syntax change. That's all. Yeah.
yeah,
So you should ask me, should I go with Selenium or Cypress? That would be a different question. But yeah, at the end of the day, you are using Selenium, which is a web automation tool. So go with any programming language. It is up to you, right? As Karthik mentioned, if you're completely new to programming, start with Python and Selenium. That is won't be the best option. But if you know Java, it's definitely you have to go with Selenium Java.
yeah. So, what is the future of testing? Somebody's asking.
So
The
Shubhi, Sandeep, you can see we are talking live. We are from testing background, right? So you can understand the future. See, it's a lot about the testing, development, support. It's all about how well you're doing that stuff. Okay, even if you are a marketing guy, sales guy, it all depends. What level of task you do. Okay, how passionately you do. So
yeah, uh,
so I can summarize this. There's a future for everything. Even if you go for any job, any business, you will find a future. It is just you need to be little consistent and little patient.
yeah,
Even I used to think when I joined IT that why am I tested? Should I move into development or what? But later on, when I discussed with a lot of people with experienced people that time, they told this matter of just a title. Okay, whether it's STET, software developer, manual test doesn't matter. Okay, it's about if you love that testing part, right? go with the testing. But if you don't like the testing, definitely you will not get successful. You will fed up, okay, after a certain time, that what exactly I'm doing, just type, click, and verification. In that case, yeah, probably you have to choose maybe development role, or maybe some other role which gives you interest. Yeah, but there's future for everything, not only with the testing.
Yeah, but just to add, Mukesh, what you said. So the testing is an intrinsic part of a software development, right? I
Yeah,
mean, without testing, we are
yeah,
not going to ship the product. So
yeah,
this testing is the last stage. It's like a gatekeeper. So we are the gatekeepers of the quality of the product. Do
yeah,
we need to release a product or not? It's going to be asked by the test to the testers, but not by the to the developers. So if you ask developers, shall we release the product? They will say instantly, please release it.
yeah,
But the aftermath is going to be taken by only the test engineers, right? So testers are going to be the heart and soul of the of any product. So the future of testing is going to be ever until the software is going to be there. It is going to be there
yeah,
forever. And I don't see in any near time future that maybe if software development is completely stopped, testing is going to be stopped as well.
true.
Because I saw an article day before yesterday that IBM has developed an tool which is going to automatically program it, and they're going to build things for us. But still, we require testing for that. Maybe
Yeah,
developers are not required, but testers are still required to
yeah,
see how it works. So I guess testing is required. The future of testing is still glittering.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Shubhi Sandeep already replied on the same question. I'm also SDET, and some says go to development. Okay, so let me end this live with the final answer. Maybe it's almost two. So Shubhi Sandeep, again, it depends on your current situation. Okay, if you're a fresher, like say 0 to 3, 0 to 5, maybe somehow you can move. If you really love, start writing. If you love the development, definitely you can move. I'm not asking you development is bad, it is just about your interest. But yeah, if you are someone who already have 10 plus experience, and suddenly if you change from estate to development, yes, you might have to struggle initial few months, right? Because SDET and developers, I will not say they're exactly same, but somehow we also write the code and development also write the code. Yeah, but it's all about the mindset that that we need to build. Somehow we also have a development mindset, but if you want to shift after 10 plus, maybe you have to struggle initial 2 3 months or 6 months maybe, but you can move it easily. But if you
Yeah.
move from manual to developer, then it's going to be a big pain in your life that you have to suddenly change everything, right? But yeah, you can move it if you wish. It's up to your interest. I also love development, but yeah, I'm happy with estate role.
Me too. I'm very happy with testing. Testing gives you uh, more freedom to go through the whole product. But developers are restricted to just a piece of modules that you need to be
Yeah,
developing.
yeah,
So yeah, and that too, if you see testers, it gives you the holistic picture of the business which you are working for, and you also know to which customers you are going to be touching, and
yeah,
what product, how you need to be delivering that product with the quality. So if something goes wrong, you are the person who knows that how the customer is going to suffer. If I don't think, I mean, developer will still know that pain, but because they are focused too much on the model that they are developing, they may not be getting that full picture. So no blame on developers are super awesome, but I'm
yeah,
just saying that's how it happens. Yeah.
yeah, true. Okay,
Cool.
Naidu, see, again, it comes to payment wise, see, it's again different story. So if you say testers are paid less than developers, see, it's not about developer testers payment part. See, payment is again very subjective. Okay, it depends on the companies. One, I have worked with different companies. Okay, and I know it payment varies from companies to company. One company pays 30 lakhs, same person, same profile, but the payment scale is too high. Okay, same person if work for different company, same person, same skill, it will be maybe 3 times lesser than that the salary. Okay, for a random number, if I say one company pays 30 lakhs to one person who has 5 plus experience on automation, one company
Mm.
pays 10 lakhs. Okay, so it's a matter of which company you use. Sorry, you're working. So but somehow I agree, yes, developers salaries are little, I will little higher from tester side, but again that's a different story. Okay, if you're doing for passion or only for money.
But uh, just wrong on New Zealand, because here it's all same.
Is it?
Not for developer, yeah, because you're gonna, if you're gonna for going for a contractor post, you'll be paid exactly the same hourly rate, not like too heavy difference between your developers and testers. Sometimes test engineers may even get higher based on your experience, kind of stuff.
Exactly. Mhm.
So I still disagree with that. Maybe in India we have that same trend again going on, but again, as you told, even in India, based on the client, based on the company, test engineers are paid more than developers. So yeah, it's all depends.
Yeah, so it's all subjective. We cannot comment on this. So yeah, so with this note, I guess we should close this live. So thank you once again, Karthik, for joining us. And probably, as you said, we will have new session with Praveen, who joined today from, and Naveen also joined. Maybe we can have one more session whenever you are free. Maybe
Yep,
2 weeks, 3 weeks, whenever you're free, and we'll have a next webinar. Yeah. So
sure.
those completely new to execute automation, please go ahead and subscribe Karthik channel. He's very active on his email replies and comments as well. So let's see. Okay. So thank you so much, guys, for taking your 1 hour on this weekend and joining us. And we will see you next webinar.
Thank you, guys. Thank you,
Thank,
Mukesh. Thank you for
thank you.
including. Bye bye. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Happy
Bye.
Independence Day.
Everyone. Yeah. Happy Independence Day and happy weekend.
Yeah, same to you guys. Bye bye.
Bye bye.